She's a straight shooter, if you know what I mean. Dishing out the truth about the royal scene with a fist of fire and a voice so keen. Hitting hard with those altar brick vibes, no sugarcoating the false alibis. Tearing down the lies she despises. Yorkshire lass with fire in her eyes. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. In a sea of fake, she's a beacon bright, unraveling the drama without a fright. Armored with honesty, ready to fight. Injustice quivers at her sight. Unbreakable will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines. Will won't be confined. Mind of steel and heart redefined. Rhetoric sharp, leaving dust behind. In Stef's world, truth is intertwined. Stef don't play, she holds the line, shouting from the rooftops across the digital vine. Harry and Meghan under her sign, fearless and bold with a soul that shines.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the Alternerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Daily Nerd Live Friday edition. How are you all doing? Oh my goodness, guys, I've got a lot to catch up with you guys with. Before we do so, though, those that watch on the replay, fast forward 5-10 minutes and I will have started the first topic for today's live stream. Let me just give you a quick rundown as to what to expect for today's live stream for Friday, the 30th of May, 2025. So first and foremost, we're going to lead in with Meghan Markle is humiliated. She humiliates herself over the latest suspicious Instagram picture. She's not fooling anyone really at this point. She is done. Next up, so everyone will know by now that Megsy is getting a bonus podcast episode released next week for Confessions of a Female Flounder, and it's Beyonce's mum, Tina Knowles. However, did you all know that Beyonce's mum actually has a failed fashion brand? So she is technically interviewing failure. A female founder failure. Oh, yeah. We're going to get through all of that in the next story, and you guys get to see all my research there. Then the third story for today's live stream, Meghan Markle's brand has been put apparently on a permanent hiatus due to Netflix pulling out. Apparently there's a lot of shiz going on behind the scenes. There's a little bit coming through on the grapevine, so I'm going to give all of that to you for the third story. And then the fourth story, well, guys, that is up to you. Do you guys want to unlock the bonus Hazard and Megsy story for today's live stream? For those that are wondering, how do you unlock it? Well, only if you can, that is. Please remember that. We do have a super chat goal in place right now. If we get 10 super chats in the next hour, then you will unlock the bonus Hazard and Megsy story. And let me give you a little bit of a teaser as to what this bonus story is about. It's about Megsy. It's about her pregnancies. And it's about the mainstream media. Oh, yeah. Megsy, she ain't in panic mode before. She's in panic mode now. So if you guys want to know the fourth story, the fourth bonus story, then only if you can. The super chat goal is live right now. Please bear in mind that super chat stickers still, for some reason, do not count towards the goal. That's a YouTube thing. That's definitely not a me thing, okay, guys? So please do bear that in mind. But yeah, that is the rundown for today's Daily Nerd Live Friday edition. So yeah, a couple of things before we kick in to today's stories. First and foremost, my goodness, Sarge, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, and Be Happy, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks. I saw them just before the live stream started. They were the Ginger Doggy Fighting Arts moments. I love it, love it. Thank you, you guys, so much. And Sarge in the chat, I salute you. Thank you so much for sending me updates on Georgie and Olivia behind the scenes. I really appreciate it, love. So thank you so much for that. There we go. Sarge, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, saying, hey up, Steph, Georgie and Olivia say hi. Well, hey up, Georgie and Olivia. How y'all doing? Aw, so cute. I am this close now to getting Yorkie. It's so freaking close. It is unreal. Miss Impossible, thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks. Really appreciate your face. Jean, hey up, Jean Rick, how's it going? Thank you so much for gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say hey up to our newest leader, courtesy of Jean Rick, who is going to jump in and respond and officially kick off today's gifting wars. Guys, we may soon find out. But the leader-only stream will be this Sunday, 9 o'clock UK time. It's the only time you guys get to call in and we discuss all the misadventures of the gruesome twosome. So if you don't want to miss out on that, click that join button today and become a leader. Jane, thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks, saying Megsy growing veg that's not in season, pickies. Oh, we're deep diving into this. I did some research. Megsy's freaking screwed, guys. Be Happy, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, saying take that, you sugars. Hi, Steph. Hi, Be Happy. Yes, we call them sugar bucks. Why? Because we know the sugars are lurking. And for the sugars that are lurking, I have a message for you. Hi, morons. How y'all doing? We know they lurk and they hate it, guys. You ruin their days when you send sugar bucks our ways. So, yeah, if you want to ruin a sugar's day, send some sugar bucks my way. That's the way it works. Only if you can, of course. Please don't feel any pressure if you can't, okay? But thank you so much to those that can, all right? Gene Rick, hey up, Gene Rick. Thank you so much for the $1.99 sugar bucks. And my favourite, yay, the Gin Donkey Fine Arts moment. I love it. For those that don't know, this is my favourite super chat sticker. Why? Because the heart's coming from the tail of the doggy, and when you lift the tail from the doggy, what's directly underneath? The butthole. Therefore, this is a Ginger Doggy Fighting Arts moment. You'll never be able to ever unsee it ever again. You're very welcome. Janaka, thank you so much for that very wonderful and very generous $5 sugar buck, saying thank you for bringing us the Royal Ruckus. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate your face. Mic Drop Lisa. Wow, Mic Drop Lisa coming in, gifting one leadership to one of you lucky lots out there. And that only means one thing, guys. Today's gifting wars for this stream have officially begun. So thank you so much to Mic Drop Lisa for officially kicking off today's gifting wars. And oh my goodness, wow. Dude, Stephen Magnus, the big SM in the chat, gifted a whopping 5 leaderships to some of you lucky lots out there. So everyone say, hey up to our newest leaders, courtesy of Mic Drop Lisa, but also as well the big SM himself, Stephen Magnus. Hey up, mate. How's it going? Thank you so much. Wow, we're already on a whopping 7 new leaders for today's stream. Who else is going to take up that sword and shield and be like, this ain't how you do a gifting war. This is how you do a gifting war. Guys, we may soon find out. We're only, though, 3 more new leaders away from double figures, from getting to 10 new leaders for today's stream. So who's going to help us get there? We may soon find out, guys. Saj, oh, thank you so much for the $2 sugar buck saying it's Georgie and Olivia's first birthday on the 1st. Oh, my goodness, really? Oh, I have to remember that for Sunday. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay. So with that being said, guys, wow, in terms of the super chat goal, we are already on a whopping 6 super chats already. We just need 4 more and you guys get to unlock the bonus Hazza and Megsy story. And as I said, it's about Megsy. It's about her pregnancies. And it's also about the mainstream media. Megsy's screwed at this point. Want to know more? Only if you can. Please send a super chat my way and ruin a sugar's day. Why the heck not? Before we jump into the first topic, though, for today's live stream, Meghan Markle humiliated over her latest suspicious Instagram picture. Let me just confirm to you and remind you, if you don't know already, if you want more content, I've got a second channel now called Political Nerds. For those that don't know, I actually have a degree in international relations and security studies. Politics is essentially my academic wheelhouse. So if you want more rants and more news from me, then please head on over to Political Nerds. For those that are watching live, the link is right at the top of the live chat. For those that are watching on the replay, it is in the description bar below. But for those that are watching live, stay exactly where you are right to the end of this live stream because you guys will be automatically redirected to my next video that will be released in Political Nerds in about an hour's time. Breaking news, guys. Keir Starmer is suffering from TDS. What is TDS? What are the symptoms of TDS? Guys, stay tuned. But yeah, this is a premiere video and it will be released in about an hour's time. And I'll be joining you guys over on this video here in the live chat to see what you guys think of it. I just want to say, though, before we carry on, thank you so much to everyone that supported my second channel so far. My goodness, earlier on this week, we blew past 20,000 political nerds. And then a couple of days' time, we blew past 25,000 political nerds. So thank you so much to everyone that supported me over on the second channel. I really appreciate it. Also, as well, if you do go on stefthealternerd.com, you'll notice that there is a new t-shirt that has been released called Prince Deliveroo. Harry's Deliveroo boo-boo turned into a doo-doo. For those that know, you guys know. And so, yeah, if you want, it's there if you want it. It's in t-shirt form, in all sizes. Go nuts if you really want to. And for those that are watching live, you might be thinking, hang on a minute. Some people have got like purple kind of things next to their name with a crown, a number 1, number 2, number 3. You guys might be thinking, what the hell is all that about? Because I know I was. When I was setting up this live stream, I'm like, hang on a minute. How come the Saj? How come we've got Jin? I think Mic Drop Lisa as well has got one. And like a couple of others. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Tammy Allcome's got one as well. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. How come, you know, some of you guys have got this like purple little doodad next to your name with the crown, like a number? What does all that signify? Well, did a little bit of research and YouTube is testing an XP leaderboard for live streamers that recognises users with most XP and awards them a chat crown. So you can currently earn XP in 3 ways. And for those that don't know, this is a bit of gaming jargon here, but XP is experience points, okay? So you can currently earn experience points in 3 ways: sending chat messages, sending super chats, and sending super stickers. So the more you chat in the live chat, the more you send super chats, the more you send super chat stickers, the higher the chance you've got of getting that purple little doodad next to your name with the crown and either a number 1, 2, or 3. So there we go. Thanks to YouTube for not emailing me and letting me know that they were going to do this. Because like I said, I was setting up this stream and I'm looking at some of you guys. I'm like, what does that represent all of a sudden? What the deuce is going on there? Well, now we know. With that being said, do you know what? Let's crack on with the first story for today's live stream. Meghan Markle humiliated over that suspicious Instagram picture. What the deuce is going on here? Well, let's crack into it right now. So this has been reported pretty much everywhere. Which Instagram picture are we talking about? We're talking about the latest one that was released by As Ever. I'm not calling it As Ever official because it ain't the official one, okay, as far as I'm concerned. And she says, the unofficial quality inspector of this morning's garden haul. And you look at this and, you know, she's got a dog there and there's a feet, and we know it's a feet because, you know, there's the toe there and all that jazz. And the dog's sniffing in to all the produce and all that malarkey, right? Okay. So far, so okay. Thing is, though, people are calling her out on it. Why? Well, firstly, when you look at the picture, to say that she's just harvested it, where's the dirt? Where's the mud? Where's any evidence that she's literally ripped these plants, these veggies, from the ground? I don't see it, do you? I see clean veggies in a very clean bag. I see Megsy with her sliders on. And let's put it this way, right? If she literally ripped these from the ground, I would expect to see her feet with at least a little bit of dirt on it, right? No dirt on her feet, no dirt on her shoes, no dirt on the bag or even on the veggies. And apparently, she just got these out from the garden. Yeah, all right. Yeah, right. The other problem is that the veggies, a lot of them, let's put it this way. It's a little bit interesting that she's harvesting them now when it's not really the time of year to do it. So let me explain a little bit more, okay? So one Reddit user has pointed out that the corn was not in season in May. Sweet corn is usually harvested from June to September. And you see, when I looked into that, yeah, it's true. It's true. Actually, I Googled when is sweet corn usually harvested in California. And Google is saying that in California, sweet corn is typically harvested from June to October. The harvesting season can start as early as the beginning of June, depending on the weather, and continue until September or early October. So, first and foremost, the corn here, yeah, this ain't the time to harvest the corn now in California. It's supposed to be next month, not this month. This is nuts. Now, the other veggies that I looked at here and I thought, okay, let me do the same thing. Let me Google when these veggies should seriously be harvested in the state of California. So here I see there's a little bit of broccoli there. So I asked Google, okay, when is broccoli usually harvested in California, Santa Barbara? Because that's where she lives, okay? The major harvest is from mid-October through December. So, how the hell has she been able, in California, in Santa Barbara, how the hell has she been able to harvest what seems to look like broccoli here, okay, guys, in May? At least 5 months after the official harvest season. The deuce is going on. This is definitely a suspicious Instagram picture indeed. But let's go even further, because it's more sus than I think anyone actually realises. So I noticed that in the picture, looks like there's some like red bell peppers here. And so again, I asked, when are red peppers usually harvested in Santa Barbara, California? Yeah, August to November, guys. Santa Barbara County, California, red bell peppers are typically harvested from August to November, with some harvest continuing through the winter due to the mild climate. Thing is, though, May is not mild at that point. She's harvested them this month, these red bell peppers, in May, June, July, August. Stupid cow is 3 months early. She's 3 months early. These red bell peppers, right, really are only due to be harvested in 3 months' time in August, but all of a sudden she's being able to harvest them now. Bullshit. Bullshit. And so then what else did I look at? Well, I also looked at cabbage, because when I, again, look at the Instagram photo here, I think there's a little bit of cabbage here. It looks like cabbage anyway. And so I was like, okay, when is cabbage usually harvested in California, Santa Barbara? Harvesting begins in December and continues through to February. So, again, if this was harvested in May, which is when this Instagram post was released, yeah, Megsy is like 3 months late. Be harvesting them in February, not 3 months later in May. This is an extremely, extremely suspicious Instagram picture. Suspicious because, again, like I said right at the beginning, when you look at it, there's no dirt whatsoever at all on those veggies. To say that she was the one allegedly to take them out of the ground, where's the dirt? Where's the evidence she literally took them out of the ground? There's no dirt in the bag whatsoever that I can see. Can you see it? There's no dirt on her sliders or on her feet, because presumably the way that she's photographed it all with the sliders on, I would have presumably expect her to go with those sliders to the garden, pick the veggies out, put them in the bag, and away you go. By doing so, it is quite messy, so I would have expected, you know, a little bit of dirt on her sliders and her feet. But no, they're absolutely spotless. The feet and the sliders are spotless. The bag's spotless. The veggies are spotless. Did she get them out of the ground? Or did she buy them from the local market and try and pass it off as that she got it from her own back garden? Here is a blind item here from Crazy Days and Nights. Because it is a blind item, of course, do your own research, come to your own conclusions, do treat it as a pinch of salt. However, makes sense to me when you look at this picture, right? Because this blind item is saying the illiterate one, which I'm assuming they're talking about Meghan Markle here, just sends someone to a farmer's market and then throws them in a basket and says they are from a garden. Now, let me give you a little bit more real to this story, okay? For those that don't know, coming up to actually 2 years this September, I actually went to Montecito. I went to Montecito with Andy Signor, my big brother from Popcorn Planet and Popcorn Palace. And we went round Montecito. We went round all the public places, of course, obeyed the laws and all that malarkey, right? There is the Montecito market there. And there's a place that I've been to it, where I can imagine, guys, she would send one of the lackeys there to get the veg, bring it back to Montecito Royale to try and pass as her own that she picked it from the garden when she didn't. I have a funny feeling of the exact place that she's been to if she was going to do that. Being real, I seriously do. I even have it pictured in my head right now. It was the place that we went to. It was this Montecito market area, and there were like buttload of shops. You know, you had the tailors that were there, eyewear shop that was there. There was a vendor that was selling apples, but there was also a big major shop that was there that sold produce, that sold veggies just like this. Just like this. And so when I look at this blind item, I chuckle to myself because I'm like, I literally know the store that she could realistically go to try and buy that produce and then pass it off as her own from her own back garden in this Instagram post right here. Megsy needs to give up on this because it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. This is actually harming her further. Why? Because it's what I've always said. Megsy and Azza have a likability and a trustability problem. Now, for Megsy, you don't like and you don't trust Megsy, then you're not going to like and trust what she's trying to put out there in the first place. And pulling stunts like this, yeah, it's not helping to increase the trust levels at all. At all. And so, yeah, guys, what do you think to this suspicious Instagram picture? I think she's humiliated herself. I really, really do. She's trying to pass this off all on as that it's from her own back garden. But where's the evidence that this is actually all from her own back garden? There's no evidence whatsoever. No evidence whatsoever. There's no mud whatsoever, no dirt, either on the veggies or on the bag or on her sliders or on her feet. None of that whatsoever. It's all clean as hell. And then secondly, you just have to Google some of this produce and be like, okay, when is this usually harvested in California, Santa Barbara? And a lot of it is harvested not within the month of May. So where the hell did she really get all this from? I'll tell you something. There's more likelihood, okay? There's more likelihood that she got all this produce from my Italian-British backside than she got this produce from her garden. Say it again for the sugars in the back row. There's more probability, it's more likely that she got this produce from my Italian-British backside than she got it from her own back garden. Oh, yeah. With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I am not done with you guys yet. We are going to go into the second story shortly. Meghan Markle's new podcast guest is Beyonce's mum. And guess what? She has a failed fashion brand. She's literally interviewing a failed female founder. How the hell does that work? I did a little bit of research, so do stay tuned for those watching live for the second story that will be coming up in a moment. But for those watching live and on the replay, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. Like, share, comment on the live chat if you watch on the replay below. What do you guys think to Megsy's suspicious Instagram picture? Are you suspicious about it? Or do you believe she actually did get it all from her back garden? What do you guys think? Let me know either in the comments down below or in the live chat. With that being said, hey up live chat, how's it all going? Sorry, got a little bit of an itchy nose there. Don't know why, but we carry on, don't we? We're going to go on to the second story in a moment. Just a few super chats to get through. So MQ, thank you so much for the €2 sugar bucks saying, Stef, believe what you see. There you go. I believe what I see. Do you? Do you? Oh, Moira Vesti, thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks. Really, really appreciate your face. That's very, very kind of you. Saj says she thinks we're stupid. Exactly. But we're not. We really, really are not. Lady Sophie of Hogan Manor says Megsy is demented. Yeah. And actually, really interesting that you might say demented, because for those that don't know, I actually do have on my website, Stef the Alter Nerd, the Demented Zebra collection. I've got the t-shirts and I've got the hat as well. It's by my own design. For those that know, you guys know. But let's put it this way. Does anyone remember Megxie going to Nigeria, and she was wearing that black and white striped dress, and she was sat down, and in one of my streams I said she looks like a demented zebra. Well, you guys wanted t-shirts out of that, so there we go. The Demented Zebra t-shirt. If you want it, entirely up to you guys, exclusively on stefthealternerd.com. Let's see what else you guys are saying before we get into the second story for today's live stream. Oh, Teresa, hey up, love, how's it going? Thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, and my favourite. Yay! The Ginger Donkey Fighting Arts moment. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. Oh, Dragon's Treasure in the house. Hey up, mate. How's it going? Thank you so much for the $4 sugar bucks. It's very, very kind of you. You really did not have to send that at all. Like, what you doing, mate? What you doing? But for those that don't know, this is the tea man. If you ever want to upgrade your tea game, right, go to dragonstreasure.com. He has so many tea flavours, it's unreal. My favourite, for those that don't know, is the apple cider tea. It tastes of apples, it smells of apples. It smells fresh and it tastes fresh. This thing is freaking amazing. You can either do loose leaf, or you can do what I do. I get them pre-bagged, and they're just as nice, I promise you right now. So many of you guys have already tried out the Tea Man's goods, and you guys have been extremely happy with it. So do go on to thedragonstreasure.com to upgrade your tea game. Use code ALTERNERD for 10% off absolutely everything in the store. Please be aware, though, that is an affiliate code, so you save some coin, and I get a little bit of coin. So, entirely up to you guys, but yeah, it's the only tea I drink, guys. Like, seriously, the only tea I will drink now is from the Tea Man. Hands down. But thank you so much, mate. I appreciate you. Be happy. Thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks saying Italian British backside. I love you, Steph. I love me too. Yeah, totally agree. Moira, thank you again for another $2 sugar bucks. Appreciate your face. Kizzy Arsenu, thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks saying enjoy. Oh yeah. I will enjoy you guys sending the sugar bucks my way to ruin a sugar's day. Always will enjoy that. Thank you so much, Kizzy. And Stephen Magnus, thank you so much for the £2 sugar bucks, my friend, saying, problem is, general public don't see / expect lies. I know, right? So it's up to the Megxiteers such as us to educate the public as to what we think is going on and what we see and what we believe. And then you guys can, sort out your own minds and, think about what you want to kind of believe in it all. Kathy Hughes, my goodness, very, very generous. Thank you so much for the $20 sugar bucks. Hearts in the chat right now for Kathy, because this is extremely generous. And my goodness, Mr. Hippo with the epic fail. Definitely epic fail on Megxie's part. Pamela, thank you so much for the $4 sugar bucks. And a cup of tea. I like that. So, yeah, with that being said, let's crack on with the second story for today's live stream. If anyone sends any further super chat stickers, member only chats, or jumps into today's gifting wars when I can get my brain back into gear, I will get to you guys as and when I can. But yeah, let's kick off the second story for today's live stream. Meghan Markle next podcast. Let's try that again, okay? Meghan Markle's next podcast guest is Beyonce's mum. Guess what? She has a failed fashion brand. Megxie is literally going to be interviewing a failed female founder. Why am I saying that? Oh, I've done some research. You guys are going to be shocked. Let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this, shall we? Because Megzy has announced that she's going to be interviewing Beyonce's mum next week, and this podcast is going to be released on Tuesday the 3rd of June. But guess what? Megzy's interviewing Beyonce's mum, Tina Knowles, right? Did you know that Tina Knowles has a failed fashion brand? So in essence, Megzy is going to be interviewing a failed female founder. Let me explain and let me show you my research. So first and foremost, for those that have been living under a rock, it's been announced in the last 24 hours that Tina Knowles will be the next guest on Megzy's podcast, a bonus episode, whatever the frick you want to call it, right? So I remember back in the day, around about 2005, 2006, that Tina Knowles, in conjunction with Beyonce, they launched a fashion brand called House of Derion. And yeah, it didn't go too well. So let me explain a little bit more. So the House of Derion, that was created back in 2006. It had the tagline where the sidewalk and catwalk meet. Now, this fashion line, as reported by the Daily Mail here, it was mainly made up of casual wear. It had embroidered hooded sweatshirts and trousers, blended with hip-hop influences and ultra-feminine flourishes, such as embroidery and ruffles. Now, it reminded me, okay, of Kimora Lee Simmons and her brand Baby Fat. The House of Derion, as far as I'm concerned, tried to be like an elevated version of Baby Fat. For those that know, you guys know. Now, when the House of Derion was launched, Beyonce and Tina Knowles, they released a statement. And so Beyonce said, "We want to launch an extraordinary outerwear collection for the holiday season, the perfect coat to complement our fashion line." Tina Knowles added, "Beyonce and I are so thrilled to add G3 to the House of Derion team. My daughter and I are enjoying every moment as we put together what we hope will be a truly incredible collection for the young women's contemporary fashion market." So it was all created and announced to a lot of fanfare, but in less than 10 years, House of Derion shut down. Megzy is interviewing a failed female founder. Why did the House of Derion fail? Well, thanks to kfiwebdesign.com. This is from their vlog right here. The first mistake was that her brand did not have a clear ideal client. It was based on personal preference, a mix of the 70s and style from the 40s, but made it street. And so, first and foremost, the vision of the designs was all over the place. It kind of grabbed from too many pots, right? Too many influences. It was an absolute mess. It was an absolute jumble. There was no focus to the designs whatsoever. Therefore, there was no focus to the ideal client that they were trying to hone in on, right? The second mistake, she didn't prepare a current audience for the shift in her brand. Beyonce was known as a musical star, and for all of a sudden to jump in her fashion bag, people were not ready. So the way that this was all set up was a complete surprise to everyone, because everyone just knew Beyonce as just this music star, and that was it. A little bit of film, but let's be real here. Music is Beyonce's bag, right? So all of a sudden, out of the blue, she announces that she's going to be doing this fashion line with her mum, House of Derion, this, that, and the other. People were like, what the hell? You're not known for that. Just like Megzy, all of a sudden, with as ever, trying to get into the whole lifestyle world and being a lifestyle guru. Last I heard, Megzy's no lifestyle guru. She doesn't have any credentials to prove herself as a lifestyle guru to all of a sudden launch a brand. Prove yourself first before you launch a brand. And that's the problem with Beyonce and Beyonce's mum. They didn't prove themselves before they launched this fashion brand. Looks like Megsy's made the same mistake there. Third mistake, Tina Knowles and Beyonce did not build trust and authority in her fashion brand. Clearly, no one can go toe-to-toe with her when it comes to music, but fashion, well, she wouldn't be on someone's top list of designers. Kind of similar to what I've just said a couple of seconds ago. Megsy hasn't proven herself to be this epic, wonderful lifestyle guru. But all of a sudden, we're supposed to take that as such because she's got a brand? I don't think so. Same thing with Beyonce and Beyonce's mum, right? They create this brand, this fashion brand, and they think that they've got a fashion brand and all of a sudden, automatically, they're going to be trusted and they're going to be seen as authorities in fashion. Don't work that way. Again, you got to prove yourself first before you set up a brand. And they didn't do that. And again, Megsy has fallen into the same trap and done exactly the same thing. But yeah, it just... How do I put this? Confessions of a Female Flounder is going to be interviewing a female flounder who literally has a failed fashion brand. You can't make this shiz up. You can't make this shiz up. The House of Darian was launched circa 2005, 2006. In less than 10 years, it shut down. No one bought from House of Darian. No celebrities at the time, I remember this, no celebrities at the time even wore House of Darian. Beyonce did. Of course she would do. And fair play to her. But no one else did. And so there was no appetite from the celebritydom, right, to wear House of Darian. There was no appetite, therefore, from the public to buy from House of Darian. So what happened? Shuts down. Are we seeing a little bit of a pattern when it comes to Megsy? No celebrities really, in the grand scheme of things, is promoting as ever. All they're doing, a couple of them are saying, oh, we've received this gift basket, this, that, and the other, right? But they're not afterwards saying, oh, it's brilliant, this, that, and the other, right? They're just saying they've received it. That's it. So, in the grand scheme of things, there's not really that much celebrity support publicly for Megsy and her brand. And there's not much public appetite to actually buy her shiz in the first place. Her first drop, and her only drop to date, sold out within the hour, but the rumours are, of course, it was going to sell out. She's only going to sell 5 of each, right? But secondly, the reviews that have come back is absolutely damn awful. People are pretty much throwing up on screen testing that spread out. So, there's not that much public appetite. There's not much celebrity appetite. The people that are reviewing this shiz, the majority of them are turning around and saying it is shiz. And so it seems like it's going the same way as House of Darian. Same thing there. There wasn't that much celebrity appetite to wear the dresses in the first place publicly. And there was no public appetite to buy from the House of Darian at all, which led to them closing down within 10 years of being set up. So do you know what? This is actually a really, really good opportunity for Megsy to learn how she's going to fail with her as ever brand. Because her as ever brand seems to be heading in the same direction of House of Darian. There's way too many similarities with these two brands. Both of them do not have celebrity endorsements at all. Both of them do not have the public appetite to want to really buy from them in the first place. So yeah, they do have a lot in common. Yeah. How to create a failed brand. For Megsy, it's a failed lifestyle brand. For Megsy's guest, Beyonce's mum, it's a failed fashion brand. With that being said, guys, for those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm going to get into the third Hazza and Megxy story in a moment. Megxy's brand is on a permanent hiatus due to Netflix pulling out. Oh, I've got some tea to spill there for you guys. So those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you yet. But for those watching live on the replay, if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to join our alternate tribe. Like, share, either comment down below or in the live chat. What do you guys think to Megxy's bonus guest, Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mum, now that I've told you all the information I've found through my research? What do you guys think? Let me know either in the comments down below or in the live chat. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you all yet. But thank you so much for tuning in for those on the replay. Appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. Okay, and that was the second story for today's live stream. We're going to be hurtling into the third one in a moment. But just to remind you guys that are watching live, do stay exactly where you are, because straight after this live stream, you will be automatically redirected to my second channel, Political Nerds. I've got a premiere video that will be starting in about 25 minutes time. And guys, breaking news, Keir Starmer is suffering from TDS. What is that? What does it mean? What are the symptoms? I'll be breaking it all down for you shortly over on Political Nerds. So again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are, because you'll be automatically redirected to that premiere when it does start. And yeah, I'll be joining you guys there in the chat as well, so we can have a little bit more fun. In the meantime, my goodness, Patty Simmons says, Megs wants to break into fashion now. Who better than another failed designer? I know, right, guys? Let's see what else you guys are saying. Yvonne Burns, good question. Does she insure herself for all of her failures, just like the scam in The Producers? It's a good question. My understanding? No. Rothound, thank you so much for joining the leadership. Really appreciate your face. I hope to see all you new leaders this Sunday, 9 o'clock UK time, for the leader only stream. It's the only time you guys are able to call in, and we get to discuss all the misadventures of the gruesome twosome. So if you don't want to miss out on that, click that join button today, just like Rothound did. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much. That takes us to 9 new leaders for today's stream. We're just one more away from double figures and getting to 10 new leaders for today's stream. So who else is going to pick up that sword and shield and be like, this ain't how you do a gifting war. This is how you do a gifting war. Guys, we may soon find out. Let's see what else you guys are saying before we kick into the third story for today's live stream. Let's see. Are you? Oh, Joe, there we go. I was looking for this one. Okay. H gets Beyonce, loses an election. Markle gets her mum. Who cares? With that being said, let's hurtle on to the third story for today's live stream. And yeah, guys, this is a doozy, because it looks like Megxy's brand, as ever, is on a permanent hiatus due to Netflix actually pulling out. Guys, there is a lot going on behind the scenes right now, and I'm gonna break it all down for you right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? Because Meghan Markle's brand, as ever, seems to now be on permanent hiatus, because the gossip coming down the grapevine is that Netflix is pulling out fast. Now, remember earlier on this week when this article from Fast Company was doing the rounds and she said that essentially she was taking a step back to gather data from the launch. So let's just read this section out word for word and just quote it, okay? So Fast Company is like, what comes next for the brand? And Meghan says that even though the team spent a year preparing the line and forecasting demand, all the products on the site sold out in 45 minutes, and now they're trying to plan as ever's next phase. The easiest thing to do would have been to endlessly restock the popular products, which would likely sell out very quickly again. But while the As Ever team has hinted online that the items will be back on sale soon, Meghan also wants to take a step back, gather data from the launch, and figure out exactly what As Ever could be. She says she's planning to announce new products in the first quarter of 2026. And so she says, quote, I want to really focus on the hospitality angle of As Ever. But as we take the learnings, we can understand what the customer's needs are seasonally. And then says, in the future, though, the sky's the limit. I ask whether she might explore a clothing business since many women are drawn to her personal style. The category of fashion is something I'll explore at a later date because I do think that's an interesting space for me, she says. Now, first and foremost, let's get into this whole she might explore a clothing business. She's participating in political spin. And she's doing it both here and here. Now, let me lay down a little bit of the foundation here, okay? And let me explain where the political spin is when she's talking about wanting to get into fashion in the future. It's political spin because she can't do it. Why? She can't sell clothes under her As Ever trademark because a Chinese As Ever brand got there first. Now, I reported on this, guys, towards the beginning of this year, if I remember rightly. And here, the Daily Mail was saying Meghan Markle is banned from selling clothes under new As Ever brand as it emerges a Chinese fashion firm is among many others to have used the name first. And so here, the USPTO, the US Patent and Trademark Office, issued a partial rejection of Meg's trademark application for As Ever, saying that she couldn't sell clothing because the company's name was too similar to Chinese fast fashion brand As Ever. And they supply popular clothing to popular companies such as H&M. The USPTO said the marks are identical in sound and virtually identical in appearance and are thus confusingly similar for the purposes of determining likelihood of confusion. They also cited clothing category class 25 and sent the trademark application back to Meg's team, saying registration of the applied for mark is refused because of a likelihood of confusion. And so my point is this. If Meg's is happy to participate in political spin right here, she can explore fashion all she wants, but she can't sell it under As Ever because the USPTO has completely shut her down on that. Because there's another As Ever that got there first and sells clothing under that name. So if she can participate in political spin quite easily here, the question then goes, is she participating in political spin here? Where she's turning around and she's saying, look, the easiest thing for me to do is to restock straight away and replicate the success that I had in the first drop where it sold out within 45 minutes. If I do another drop, it's going to sell out again. Because as I said in a video that I released a few days ago now, and I was discussing, that whole Fast Company article there, it makes no damn sense from a business perspective that you have a first drop that sells out within the hour, and then you don't then work hard to get a second drop out as soon as possible. As a business, you'd want to replicate that success. A business is out there to make money, right? You want to replicate the success as quick, as big, as fast as possible. So why all of a sudden is Megxie turning around and saying, oh, sold out within the hour, had a lot of success, but isn't motivated to do a second drop as soon as possible? Instead, wanting to take her time, guys. She wants to take her time This is another example of political spin. And I'll explain in a moment. Before I do so, just to thank a couple of people before they get lost in the ether. Moira Vesta, thank you so much for becoming one of our newest leaders to the leadership. Really appreciate your face. Everyone say, hey, up to our newest leader, Moira. And hearts in the chat for Moira because they went one step further and actually hit that join button. So I really appreciate your face, Moira. Thank you so much. And Rothound to the rescue, jumping in today's gifting wars, gifting a whopping 5 new leaderships to some of you lucky lots. So everyone say, hey, up to our newest leaders, Moira, and leaders courtesy of Rothound. Really appreciate your face, Rothound. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's get back to this. This is all indicating, as far as I'm concerned, that Megsy's brand as ever is on a permanent hiatus. Why is that? It would only be on a permanent hiatus, essentially, for one reason and one reason only. She's not got the backing to continue with this brand. She's turning around and saying, oh, we're going to take time out this, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. No. A business would rush to want to replicate that success as much as possible. That's what businesses do. They make money. They don't sell out within the hour and be like, do you know what? I'm going to wait until next year for a second drop. Makes no goddamn business sense at all, ever in the world. But yeah, as Teresa Randall is saying, and thank you so much for the $2 sugar bucks, my friend, Netflix is finally getting serious with Megsy. Oh yeah, they are. Because the only reason why Megsy is not getting as much backing as she needs to do a second drop as soon as possible would all be down in this scenario to a major partner, Netflix, not giving her that backing. Now, let me show you Exhibit B. So, this is from Foster at Foster__Braxton. And they tweeted out the following. Lady C is being told that Harry and Meghan are in huge trouble financially, especially with his current legal expenses. That I can believe. On top of that, Ted Sarandis could not get the board of Netflix to approve a dime of funding into Was Never. And obviously, she couldn't find anyone else willing to invest in a flop. However, Markle is alleged to be dangling the divorce exclusive over the head of Sarandos. So let's break this down, okay? You have Megsy right here turning around and saying, we're going to take a step back. We've had this successful first launch, but instead of doing what other businesses would naturally do, which is work towards getting a second launch out as soon as possible to replicate the success. No, instead, we're going to take a step back, reevaluate what as ever could be, and then release something in 2026 in a year's time. Yeah, BS. I called BS a few days ago, and I'm calling BS now. We've got more information now to call it BS, which is this from Lady C. Now it makes more sense to me why she's waiting until 2026, or why she says she's waiting until 2026. This is all political spin. This is all word salad. I'll be very, very surprised if something is launched in 2026. I'll be very, very surprised if, as ever, Megsy's version is still in existence in 2026. Because this makes a shiz ton of sense. In order to have a second launch, you need money behind you to be able to source the produce and the ingredients, put it all together, and there's your product, and you sell it out, right? And all the mechanics behind doing that in the first place. The problem is, if you don't have the backing to do that, then there's not going to be a second launch, is there? As soon as possible to try and replicate as quick as possible your first launch. And so that, to me, leads to one conclusion. Yeah, Netflix is getting serious with Megsy. To the point where, if we're to believe Lady C, and I do, Netflix has had enough. They want out. They are pulling their backing, and they are pulling their financial weight from Megsy. That's why Megsy, as far as I'm concerned, is trying to spin it and be like, oh, it'll be in 2026. I just need to take a little bit of time out to figure out what as ever could be. No, you're supposed to figure out what as ever could be before you launch the brand in the first place. If you don't know what your brand is about, you don't launch it until you do. So that makes no sense. I'm going to wait a year to figure out what As Ever could be. As Ever's launched. You should already know what it is right now. What makes more sense is that's just all BS, waffle, Megsy word salad per usual. And she's just trying to cover up the fact or the notion that Netflix is pulling out, and they're pulling out fast. They're pulling out faster than her first drop sold out. I will be extremely surprised if anything is launched in 2026. Furthermore, I'll be extremely surprised if Megsy's brand As Ever is still in existence in 2026. Because this makes a lot of sense. What doesn't make sense is why Megsy, after a first successful launch, wouldn't want to replicate it as a business owner as quick as possible and as fast as possible with a second drop. Why is she waiting until 2026 for a second drop? Why is she only turning around now and saying she needs to figure out what As Ever could be? You're supposed to figure it out before you launch the freaking brand. Nah, that makes no sense whatsoever. What does make sense is, hang on a minute. Why is she saying she's waiting until 2026? And why is she saying all this BS? What's really going on behind the scenes? This, I believe. She's trying to polish a turd. She's trying to say everything's all right. But behind the scenes, it don't look like it. Behind the scenes, Netflix has had enough. They don't want to put another dime into this thing. They see it for what it is, a failed brand. What do you guys think? With that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are because you guys have been able to unlock the bonus Hazard and Megsy story, and I can reveal to you that, yeah, Megsy's in panic mode because now the media is starting to question her pregnancies. This is going to be a fun one. So those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you lot yet, but for those watching live or on the replay, if you haven't done so already, please make sure on your way out you subscribe to join our alternate tribe, like, share, comment down below or in the live chat your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatevers. Why do you think Megsy is waiting until 2026 allegedly to do a second drop? Why do you think that's the case? Do you believe, as I believe, that there's not going to be a second drop? That it's all BS, it's all political spin, and that the real reason why she's saying all of this is because she's trying to save face, because if you're to believe Lady C, because I do, Netflix is pulling out, and without the backing, the brand can't continue. What do you guys think? Let me know either in the comments down below or in the live chat. For those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all your faces, and until the next time, you guys, laters. All right, and that was the third topic for today's live stream. We're going to go through the bonus Hazard and Megsy story in the moment. Thank you so much to everyone that was able to help towards achieving today's super chat goal. I really appreciate your faces. Thank you so much. But Sarge, thank you so much for that $2 sugar buck saying you can eat the jam behind you, Steph. I know, right? I'm still going to do a jam wars. I'm going to do the Yorkshire jam, the Megsy's duplicate jam, and the King's jam. Because this one right here, the small batch company jam, last year when she released pictures of the American Riviera whatever jams, right, a lot of people said that she was basically getting the small batch company jams and literally rebranding it as her own. Found out that wasn't the case at all in the end, but we're going to call that one the Megsy fake jam. All right, the Megsy fake jam, the King's jam, and proper homegrown Yorkshire jam. Who's going to win? I'm going to do a video on that still. I'm still going to do the Jam Wars. So, yeah, Sarge, thank you so much for that. Appreciate your face. But, yeah, let's get into the third and final story for today's live stream. Meghan Markle is in panic mode because a lot more people in the media are starting to question her pregnancies. Let's get into it right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught my eye. And oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because Megzy is now in panic mode because the media, more people in the media, are starting to question the legitimacy of her pregnancies. They're starting to finally catch up, and they're now realising that something's wrong with this picture as well. So let's jump into it, shall we? So thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Henry Wales for tweeting this out. This is from the Mark Dolan show. Hashtag Sussex baby scam. Let's have some fun, shall we?
And Liz Jones. So I'm a fan of hers. I like her. And she's opened a can of worms because she is as fearless as it gets. Now, she wants to know why Meghan put a photograph of the embryo on the internet. She suggests the inclusion of the pregnancy photo was deliberate, aimed at quashing long-running rumours that Meghan was never pregnant. Those are the rumours. Now, these theories have swirled around since 2018 when Meghan first announced that she was experiencing Archie, who she probably calls A. I call him A. He's my son.
I just like it how he mocks her like that, to be fair.
The key conspiracy theories are as follows. And by the way, can we be careful with the term conspiracy theory? Because you might...
He's going to make a good point here.
have noticed that from the years 2020 to 2023, there were a lot of so-called conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. That the people that were told were crazy because they said this, that, and the other about especially that global health crisis thing. People got cancelled for stating sensible facts about health and about the global health crisis, who were cancelled. Careers were ended. They were humiliated publicly. And then a few years later, the authorities were like, oh, yeah, well, maybe this happened and maybe that was a mistake and etc. So a lot of conspiracy theories, all you really need is 6 months and then they come true. So I do.
Yeah. A lot of conspiracy theories have ended up true. So don't write off the Megzy fake pregnancy conspiracies just yet, guys.
Find that the term conspiracy theory is weaponized. But anyway, let's just say theories about Meghan's pregnancy involve the following. One is that Meghan wore a moon bump, a prosthetic belly, to fake her pregnancy.
And I believe that. We all know of that famous picture now, that infamous picture, where she's wearing that purple dress and the long coat. The belly's up here to begin with, but then when she walks out, down to her freaking knees, it looks like. Come on. Yeah, I definitely believe she was wearing a moon bump.
Another theory is that she used a surrogate for both Archie and Lily.
I believe that too. I believe that she used a surrogate. Absolutely. Why? Because she didn't tell us, let's say with Archie's birth, right, when she was in the UK, she didn't tell us where Archie was going to be born at. It was only afterwards. So for me, the reason why she wasn't forthcoming as to where Archie was being born is because, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, she didn't want to risk the possibility of a member of the media bumping into the surrogate. The alleged surrogate, we'll say, okay? You think Megzy would pass up the opportunity to cosplay Princess Diana and be on the steps outside the hospital to show the baby to the world? No. So why would she do that? Why would she pass up one of the ultimate Princess Diana cosplay moments? To me, she never gave birth to Archie or Lilibet in the first place. I do believe a surrogate was used.
and that she'd had a hysterectomy in her 20s, as confirmed by her ex-husband.
The hysterectomy situation, I don't know whether to believe that or not. I really don't. I'm being honest with you guys, as I always am, all right? I don't know whether to believe that or not. I really don't.
We also have a theory that Meghan hired 2 babies to help her sell jam and flour sprinkles.
Yes. Yeah. When you look at the pictures of allegedly Archie and Lilibet, I've done a couple of videos on it. To me, A, we really don't know if it's Archie or Lilibet or not because we don't see the faces. And then B, when you look at their hair, the height for the age that they're supposed to be at and things like that, there are things that just don't add up.
Many have said that Meghan's baby bump was too shiny, far too tight and transparent. And some said they could see the straps of a prosthetic around her waist. Even the ultrasound was questioned. No hospital name, reference number, data or ID on the scan.
Mark Dolan, are you watching my channel by any chance? I joke. I know other Megxiteers will have made the same observation as well. But on that whole mood board thing that Megxie released with her pregnancy photo and all that lot, I did turn around and I said, with the ultrasound bit, oh, hang on a minute, there's no information on the ultrasound on the top right-hand corner. It's folded over, so you don't know if that is Archie or not. Who's the mother? It's supposed to be named on there and the date and all that lot. That could be any ultrasound from one of her mates or even freaking printed off or bought, right?
Slow-mo videos allegedly show the bump swinging unnaturally. Audio clips claim it popped as she stopped to pet a dog. The baby burst. Some question how she was able to squat with knees together whilst heavily pregnant.
Now, I have actually turned round and said, look, we can't actually use that, for me anyway, as an example of Megxie and her alleged moon bump situation, because there was a picture of, it was either Princess Eugenie or Princess Beatrice, and they did exactly the same thing. They were pregnant, they were in heels, and they went down, just like Megxie, to speak, and then got back up again. And they didn't fake their pregnancies. So, for me, that, no, I don't take that as evidence that Megxie was wearing a moon bump. I take the majority as evidence that Megxie's wearing a moon bump, allegedly. I believe it, but yeah, not that.
I was able to. Each to their own. I'm very lucky. I'm bendy. I've got a dancer's physique. During the Windsor photo call post-birth, theorists accused Harry of holding a doll and moving it with his thumb.
Now, Mark seemingly looks like he's laughing at that one, but you watch that photo call and yeah, guys, that looks really suspicious. I remember back in the day, Meghan's mole, she took time out. She was very generous with her time. And she spoke to me behind the scenes about that clip, teaching me more about the whole moon bumpology, situation, because she definitely has a PhD in that. And she was kind of walking me through that clip step by step. And it was like, as she was explaining it all to me, I'm like, my goodness, how did I not see that? She's the freaking bed. The baby's not even moving. Not making a stir, it's not doing all. He's proper digging in with his thumb, all this lot. It looks so strange, it's unreal. So Mark Dolan might laugh at that part of the conspiracy theory, but no, I think it needs to be treated a little bit more seriously than that.
Now, Liz Jones says these theories are ludicrous and utterly baseless. Posting the picture, however, she said the picture of the embryo has lit the blue touch paper instead of putting out the firestorm. On these amateurish sleuths, as she calls them, snuffling for clues, analysing hair colour, skin tone and even their hands, well, she condemns them. She says to think that Meghan and Harry have embarked on an elaborate heist is ludicrous. There's no way such a deceitful act, which ridicules our royal family, could possibly be pulled off. On the photo montage, she called it mawkish. We can agree on that. But she said only the most mean-spirited would have judged her if she had used a surrogate. If she'd had a problem with infertility, she would have put the issue front and centre. Meghan is a smart...
No, she won't. No, she won't. Why? Because the simple fact is this. If Lily and Archie are not born from Meg's body, they can't be in the line of succession. If they're born from a surrogate, they can't be in the line of succession. So that's why, if a surrogate was used, Megsy would keep quiet on it. That's why.
Smart cookie. She knows what sells these days is authenticity. Wait a minute. Liz Jones. I admire Liz Jones from the Daily Mail, but Meghan Markle is as authentic as a $9 bill. She hasn't got a real bone in her body. The whole thing is fake. She's a construct. She's a hologram. She's the human manifestation of ChatGPT software gone horribly wrong. She's not authentic. Meghan knows what sells these days is authenticity. Now, lovely Liz Jones strikes a note of sympathy to Meghan. She says, I have no idea how Meghan can get out of bed given the scale of the persecution she has suffered. Persecution? I mean, what is that? Meghan married...
Now she's trying to go along Megsy's line of her being the most bullied person in the world. This is the thing, guys. This, all in all, is good news. Why? Because we are getting more and more people from the mainstream media world, right, coming in, and they're starting to question Megsy's pregnancies. Megsy wasn't in panic mode before. Best believe, as far as I'm concerned, she's in panic mode now. Big SM, thank you so much for the £2 sugar buck saying Meghan added 3 CV entries and a 2032 presidential run. Whoa, where? Could you email me the details, please, if you can, Big SM? Appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, guys, with that being said, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you yet. But for those watching live on the replay, if you haven't done so already, please, on your way out, make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Do you think Megsy will be in panic mode now that there are more people from the mainstream media world that are starting to question the legitimacy of her pregnancies? What do you guys think? Let me know either in the comments down below or in the live chat. Again, live chat, stay exactly where you are. But everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters. Okay, and that was the bonus Hazard and Megsy story for today's live stream. Everyone that's watching live, stay exactly where you are, because straight after this live stream, you'll be redirected over to my second channel, Political Nerds. I've got a premiere video that is literally premiering in less than 60 seconds. So thank you so much to everyone that's been able to send a super chat that's allowed us to achieve today's super chat goal and unlock the bonus Hazard and Megsy story. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much as well to everyone that's been able to send super chat sticker, leader only chats, been able to join as leaders or jump into today's leader wars. We've got 15 new leaders for today's stream. I hope to see all you new leaders and all the current ones this Sunday for the leader only stream at 9 o'clock UK time. Thank you also as well to everyone that subscribed, not only here but over on my second channel, Political Nerds. And thanks to everyone that's thumbed up this video and giving it a good old-fashioned like. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all of your support. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. I will see you all for the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition, 10 o'clock UK time, 5 o'clock Eastern. I'll see you over there shortly, guys. You'll be automatically redirected. Let's have some fun on Political Nerds, shall we? Until then, laters.